Stories in Scripture. Listen closely. For each story carries a warning, and each warning carries a lesson. You will hear the power of God, the reality of human choices, and the results of disobedience and rebellion. Do not fear. Fear is not the goal. Understanding, reflection, and obedience are. Let your heart be open. Let your mind be still. Let the truths of Scripture guide you. Tonight, think of the weight of sin in the world. Consider how every choice, every action, every refusal to obey God has consequences. Let us begin. Before the flood, the earth was corrupt. Every thought of humanity was evil continually. Violence filled the land. God's heart was grieved. He said to Noah, a righteous man, I will destroy all flesh, because the earth is filled with violence. Noah obeyed. He built the ark. The sky darkened. Rain poured for 40 days and 40 nights. Mountains disappeared under the rising waters. Every creature not aboard the ark perished. Humanity's sin had consequences beyond imagining. Imagine the terror, the hopelessness, the absolute isolation of the world under the flood. No voices of comfort, no help, only the storm, the water, and the realization that God's judgment is real. Even in judgment, mercy is present. Noah found favor because he obeyed. But the world that ignored God faced the consequences of their heart's choices. Let this story warn you. Obedience and faith bring life. Rejection brings destruction. Trust God before the flood comes in your life. If this is opening your eyes and heart, pause for a moment. Reflect on the lessons. Let the warnings guide you. Remember, obedience brings protection, humility brings life, and faith brings peace. Stay with this teaching and continue to receive wisdom for your life. Think about your own life. Where have you ignored instructions? What storms are coming because of choices made without God? Obedience is life-giving. Faith preserves. Every day is a choice. Will you build your ark before the waters rise? The flood was not just water. It was a judgment upon every thought of humanity. Every sin accumulated, every act of violence, every deceitful word contributed to a world that had rejected God. Noah's family alone survived because of faith and obedience. This shows the seriousness of your choices, even in small matters. The rain fell with no pause. Mountains submerged. Animals fled in panic. Humanity cried, but no one heard. Imagine the sound of the world drowning. Silence, fear, and the overwhelming knowledge that God's justice is real. This is the weight of sin and its consequences. The world can feel overwhelming. But obedience, faithfulness, turning to God, can protect you. Do not wait. The flood can come in many ways. Broken relationships, consequences of pride, the chaos of disobedience. Walk with God and be safe. Reflect. What areas of your life are like the earth before the flood? Where is your faithfulness being tested? Where do you need to listen today to avoid destruction? Pharaoh's heart was hardened. God commanded, "Let my people go." But Pharaoh refused. One plague came. Then another. Blood in the rivers, frogs covering the land, gnats and flies, pestilence, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, and finally the death of the firstborn. The land of Egypt became a scene of horror. God's power was undeniable. Human stubbornness brought suffering. Each plague was a warning. each one a chance to obey and turn to God. Stubbornness brings suffering. Pride blinds hearts. Even then, a way to return is offered. Pharaoh's choice was his own, so are yours. Turn before judgment arrives in your life. Consider the areas in your heart where you are hardened. Where have you refused correction, instruction, or guidance? Obedience is not optional. Pride brings pain. Humility brings preservation. Where is your Pharaoh? See the rivers turn to blood. Feel the frogs crawling through homes. Hear the cries of those suffering. The land is uninhabitable. Every plague demonstrates God's authority and the consequences of rebellion. Stubbornness affects not only you, but those around you. Your choices have ripple effects. A hardened heart will bring consequences you cannot escape alone. But a humble heart, willing to obey, finds mercy and deliverance. Choose wisely. Today, not tomorrow. Reflect what stubbornness in your life needs softening. Where can obedience bring blessing instead of suffering? The cities were full of wickedness. The cries of the innocent reached heaven. God declared, "I will destroy them." Lot and his family were warned. Fire and brimstone rained down, consuming the cities, leaving desolation. Those who looked back were lost. Those who obeyed were spared. Horror and warning are inseparable. Do not cling to destruction. Walk away from sin, habits, lies that promise pleasure but deliver ruin. Listen to the warning. It is always for your protection. Consider the sins around you. The temptation to look back. The allure of rebellion. Your obedience today preserves your life tomorrow. Walk with God. Sodom and Gomorrah were wealthy, proud, and self-indulgent. They rejected back, were lost. Those who obeyed were spared.